The students in our last class under chapter structural organization in animals, we were learning connective tissue. Once again we will recall what we have learnt in our last class. We already started with connective tissue, that is loose connective tissue. Already we discussed connective tissues are of three types: loose connective tissue, dense connective tissue, and specialized connective tissue. Already I have discussed in the last class. Then loose connective tissue, there are two types, areolar and adipose, that also we discussed already. So this we have discussed already. Next what we have to discuss is dense connective tissue. You can see there, dense connective tissue, there are again two types. Regular means you can see that all are arranged in, all the thread-like structures are arranged in a regular fashion, means in a particular design in a line, but here it is irregularly arranged. You can see it is spreaded completely. So fibers and fibroblasts are compactly packed here, very less spaces are there. You can see there is no space here in this diagram, you can see. So they are of two types. If they are arranged systematically one over the other, like line by line, then they are called regular, dense regular connective tissue. If they are not arranged properly, then it is called irregular connective tissue. You can see both the structures there. Next, dense regular we will see first. Dense regular, the first picture is how it looks like under microscope, and this is a diagram which will be there in the textbook diagram. Okay, you can see these thread-like structures, what you see black color which looks like a noodles, no? The black thread-like structure, that is collagen fibers, and these are fibroblasts. Okay, fibroblast cells. So they show regular pattern of fibers. You can see that all the fibers are arranged only in one direction. You can see there, one or the other. It is nowhere irregularly arranged. It is all regular, means one particular design is there, like one above the other they are arranged. So collagen fibers are present in rows, like how students sit in the class, one row, then next row, that like one first bench, second bench, like that. Collagen fibers are arranged properly here. So example for dense regular connective tissues: tendons and ligaments. What are these tendons and ligaments? We are learning next in locomotion and movement chapter. Anyway, here only you can see once again. Tendons meaning they attach muscles to bones. Skeletal muscles are attached to bones with the help of tendons. You can see there. Here this is a muscle, what you see in red color, and white color what you see is a bone. One small patch they have magnified. You can see this white color part is a bone and this red color part is a muscle. So muscle binds to bone, for that gum-like substance attachment is required, that is tendon. So tendon binds muscles with bones. Then what is ligament? Attach one bone to another. So one bone is attached to other bone. You can see here one bone is attached to other bone with the help of ligament. Like some people say ligament, my ligament tore. Okay, tearing of ligaments, all that they say. That is tendon means it is connective tissue which connects bones with muscles, skeletal muscles. Skeletal muscle means which is under our control. Then ligament is a part which joins bones with bones, bone with bone. Okay, then what we discussed just now is a dense regular. Now we are going to discuss dense irregular. You can see that there is no particular fashion there. They are not arranged in a row. So irregular pattern of fibroblasts or fibers, mostly collagen. Okay, usually these kind of irregular tissues are present in the skin. In the skin part, we see this kind of dense but irregular fibers. Okay, we'll go to next slide. Then We discussed two types, dense regular, dense irregular. So with that dense connective tissue we finished. Now we have to discuss third type of connective tissue. If you remember, there are three types of connective tissues. Like first one is what we discussed. First one, that is areolar connective tissue, adipose tissue, which comes under what? You can see that slide once again if you want. Loose connective tissue. Under loose connective tissue we discussed areolar, adipose. Under dense we just discussed dense regular, dense irregular. Next we are discussing specialized connective tissue. Under that cartilage, bone and blood. One by one we are going to discuss now. Okay, now specialized connective tissue. Why I went back? Because here heading is not clearly visible on the top. So this is heading, specialized connective tissue. Under that three are there, cartilage, bone and blood. One by one we will learn. This is cartilage. Okay, cartilage, you can see there they are showing the blue color part there, and they are showing in the nose. Here it looks like hard part. Here tip of nose looks like hard. It looks like a bone, but it is not actually bone. Because in the skeleton this bone is not there. Hollow cavity is there. This is not bone. This is cartilage, which is hard, but it is not a bone. It is a cartilage. Then in the ear also, you see here hard part is there. That is not bone. That is cartilage. So cartilage also gives support. You can see the position they are showing: nose, tip of the nose, then ear they are showing. Okay, so and you can see cartilage cell also they are showing here. This is one cartilage cell, white color what you see, these are cartilage cells. Okay, and this thread like structure what you see is a collagen fibers. Thread like structure is collagen fiber. This white color cells what you see, that is cartilage cell. So in this intercellular material or matrix is solid. You can see there the intercellular material means in between collagen fibers, the matter is called matrix. Okay, that is solid and pliable due to chondroitin salts. Chondroitin salt is there, so it will be little harder, looks like bone but not actually bone. Okay, and resists compression, so it doesn't compress, it resists compression, it comes back to original position. Then cartilage cells are also called chondrocytes. Cartilage cells are also called chondrocytes. Okay, like cells of adipose tissue are called adipocytes, like that cells of cartilage tissues are called chondrocytes. Okay, so they are enclosed by small cavities within matrix secreted by them. You can see there they are present in a cavities. You can see this circular part, they are circular part, they are present in a enclosed in a small cavities within matrix secreted by them. Okay, so most of the cartilages in vertebrate embryos are replaced by bones in adults. First cartilaginous skeleton we will have when we were in the embryo stage, then they will be replaced by hard bones in most of the vertebrates. Cartilage is present in the tip of the nose. Tip of the nose, I told you it looks like a bone but it is not a bone. It looks hard but this is cartilage. Present at the tip of the nose, then outer ear what you see here. Okay, then some joints you can see there between two bones there. Between two bones, that joint what you see is a cartilage. That blue color they are showing here at this point. Then they are present at the vertebral column, backbone, then limbs, that is hands and legs, where joints are there, cartilage here between these two joints. Then hands in adults. Hands in adults also will have cartilage. This is special type of connective tissue. So we call specialized connective tissue. The next is bones. Bones. You can see that this is a compact bone tissue, and this is a bone cell. These are all bone cells. Okay, here you can see bone cells. So bone cells are called osteocytes. Cartilage cells are called chondrocytes, bone cells are called osteocytes. Bones are hard, non-pliable, means it is not foldable. Bones you cannot fold. So it is hard, non-pliable, rich in calcium salts. Rich, bones require calcium for hardening. Then collagen fibers, which give bone its strength. So bone cells also will have collagen fibers for giving tensile strength. Means bone can hold weight. Legs especially, the bones present in the legs will wear the whole body weight on that, because upper part of the body, if it is heavy also, legs will bear it. So bones require strength. So for that, calcium is there and collagen fibers are there, that gives a strength to bone. Then bone cells are called osteocytes. They are in a spaces called lacunae. Okay, so there is a space there, you can see there is a space. That space is called lacunae here. Lacunae. Actually, in NEET class, you will learn that bone is produced in a canal system called Haversian canal system. Name of the scientist, Haversian canal system, that you will learn in NEET. I will not mix it up here. Then functions of bones, I don't have to tell, but also we will discuss. Functions of bones, what is the work of bone? Provides structural frame to the body, means it gives shape to the body. Otherwise, if bones are not there, then we will be like a ball. Only muscles will be there, we have to roll on the ground like a football. So because bones are there, so we can stand straight. So it gives structural frame to the body, means it gives one shape to the body. Then support and protect softer tissues and organs. Like inner softer organs will be supported. Like for example, if you see in the chest portion, ribs are there. So ribs will protect inner heart and all other organs, soft organs. So limbs serve weight bearing functions, like I told you. Limbs, especially lower limbs, like legs for example. Legs will bear whole body weight. Whole body weight it will bear. Suppose a person is 85 kg. Legs will bear all that weight. So that means it can bear weight. Then take part in locomotion and movement. So to do any movements, let's see, I am doing movement now. To do any movement or to walk, that is locomotion, bones are required. Then blood cells are produced in bone marrow. You should know this. Blood cells, RBC and WBC, they are produced in bone marrow. You know this. You'll be surprised to know in Kannada for bone marrow we say asti majje. Asti majje. Anyway, not required now. So specialized connective tissue, one more, which is fluid connective tissue, that is blood. You already know about it. You have already learnt in body fluids and circulation. So this is the structure of RBC without nucleus. And these are the platelets called thrombocytes. And these are the WBCs. Nucleus is having different shape there. You can see some are dumbbell shaped. Some are elongated. Then some white blood cells are there. Out of that, this is a basophil. This is a platelet. This is monocyte. You can see there. Then monocyte, lymphocyte, B and T lymphocyte. Neutrophils are there, and red blood corpuscles. You can see there, which looks red there. They are showing the red color there. That is this one. That is biconcave. Both the sides it is concave. Biconcave red blood corpuscle or RBC. A fluid connective tissue which connects plasma, red blood corpuscles, white blood corpuscles and platelets. So blood connects all this. It connects the tissue. It connects plasma. Contains. A blood contains plasma, which is straw colored, you know very well. Then red blood cells, white blood cells, or red blood corpuscles, white blood corpuscles and platelets, thrombocytes will be there. It helps in circulation of various substances. Some hormones produced by endocrine glands also are circulated through blood only. So many substances are circulated by blood. So it connects all the parts of the body. So it's a liquid connective tissue. Then next we have to discuss about muscle tissue. Very important, muscle tissue. You already know in high school classes you have learnt. Okay. You can see that. First one they are showing striated muscle. This is unstriated muscle. Then this is cardiac muscle present only in the heart. They are showing the location. Anyway. So muscle tissue, when you see, if you take a cross section of muscle tissue, it will be like this. So muscle tissue, inside it will have a long thread-like structure, that is called myofibrils. You can say myofibrils also, your wish. Fibril means thread-like structure. Muscle, one muscle cell, if you cut in the center and see what is there inside, it will have many bundles. Bundles, you can see this is one bundle now. Like that, many bundles are there. Bundle means, you know, it's a group of threads. Many stick-like structures are there. That is called, each one is called myofibril. A bunch of myofibril we call here, you can see here, okay, that is actually called fascia, Fascia. That's not there here. Then it contains two types of proteins. Muscles contain two types of proteins, which is very important, required for contraction and relaxation of muscles. Contraction and see, I'm showing contraction and relaxation of muscles. For that, two proteins are required in the muscle, that is called actin and myosin. You can see that they have written. Actin is one, other one is myosin. Actin and myosin are two important proteins present in the muscle cell, which is required for contraction and relaxation of muscles. Okay, so three types are there in muscles, you know, types of muscles. First one is skeletal muscle, also called as striated muscle, because you can see the lines there. The lines or stripes are there, that is called striations or stripes. So either you call it as striated or striped muscle or skeletal muscles, which is voluntary muscle. Voluntary means it is under the will of the person. It is under our control. Like however we say it will work. Like I want to move my hand now, I am moving because muscles present in the limbs, hands and legs. No, all that is in the neck portion, hands, legs, all that is under our control. However we say it will work. So that is skeletal muscle. Then smooth muscles are there, which is non-striated muscle. Non-striated, there are no lines. Non-striated, or also called visceral muscle. Visceral muscle, because it is present in the inner organs. Inner organs like intestine, stomach, all this will have muscles called unstriated or non-striated or visceral muscle or smooth muscle. It is also involuntary, means it is not under our control. Like we take food, once it goes to stomach, it is not under our control. Like digestion we cannot control. Okay, movement of stomach, movement of esophagus, movement of food in the intestine, it is not under our control. So those muscles which is not under our control are involuntary, not under the will of the person. They are present in the inner organs, that is called visceral organs. Then cardiac muscles are branched muscles. They have branches and they are present only in the heart. Only in the heart. So they are called cardiac muscles. You know, cardiology means study of heart. You know, cardiology. Cardiologist means heart specialist, doctor. Cardiac muscle means they are present only in the heart. They have branches. You can see there. They have branches and they are restless muscles. They don't take rest. So one by one, if we have to see. First one is skeletal muscle. I already told you. Skeletal muscles are attached to the bones, like in biceps. In the biceps part, you know, if you see all these muscles which is under our control, they are attached to, skeletal muscles are attached to bones. You know what will join them? The part which joins skeletal muscles with the bone is what? Tendon, not tendon. Then striations are present on the muscle fiber. You can see here, this is the cell. Lines are there here on the body, on the muscles. These lines are what we call striations or stripes. Like tiger on its body, it will have lines, no, black color lines. That is called stripes or striations. So you can see these lines are striations, and this is there is a nucleus here. You can see in white color. So here white color, here white color, here white. All these are nuclei present there. And muscle fibers are bundled together in a parallel way. You can see this is one muscle fiber, this is other muscle fiber, third, fourth. There are 4 muscle fibers. All the muscle fibers are arranged parallelly there. Parallelly. A sheath of tough connective tissue encloses several bundles of muscle fibers. A tough connective tissue is there within the muscles. You know what it is. Collagen fibers are there inside. Like I told you, what will be there inside the muscle? Like this is a bone and this is a muscle, and this white color what you see is a tendon. I told you tendon is a part which joins bones with muscle here. Then muscle, if you take a cross section, you can see many bundles here. This is a circular part, it will have many rod like structures. Each rod like structure is called myofibril. Many rod like structure, myofibrils, joined to form a bundle. Like many bundles are there, one bundle they are showing there. Each bundle is called fascicle. I told you it is called fascicle or fascia. That is FASCIA. One if you are talking about, then it is fascicle. Then second one is smooth muscle or striated or visceral muscles. Non-striated muscle, there are no lines. You can see there the black color dot, what you see there, that is a nucleus, and these are the smooth muscle fibers. Smooth muscle fibers, you can see elongated cells, no striations, no lines on the muscle, so no striations, so it is called unstriated. It is involuntary and fusiform, means fibers tapers at both the ends. In previous one you have seen muscles will be cylindrical structure. Here two ends of the muscles will have sharp ends, that is called tapering. Tapering means becoming sharp, joints at one point. Then they are seen in the wall of internal organs like blood vessels, stomach, intestine. Already we know. Inner part which is not under our control will have these kind of muscles which is not under our control. Then third type is cardiac muscle. You can see there present in the heart. Heart is muscular organ. Cardiac muscle, okay, this is the structure where you can see the branches there. Branches, you can see one has branched, one produced two branches here. So involuntary muscle and heart muscles are also not under our control. So heartbeat we cannot control. So cell junctions fuse the plasma membranes and the cells make them to stick together. Like cell junctions are there. Cell junctions will join two muscle fibers together. Communication junctions like intercalated discs are there. You can see there. Intercalated discs. You can see they are showing here. Intercalated discs are there. That is communication junctions. Like one muscle fiber communicates with other muscle fiber with the help of intercalated disc present there. Intercalated disc present there. This is a junction between adjacent cells. That is a disc. Okay. Then, so one cell receives signal to contract. Its neighbor cell also will be contracted. Means one cell contracts, then it will send message to next cell through this intercalated disc. That is a communication between two muscles. Then both the muscles will contract. So one contracts, then all the remaining will contract because one muscle will send message to other muscle. Then fourth type of tissue in our human body, that is neural tissue. You know it very well. This is a structure of neuron. You know this structure very well. Neural control and coordination already we have learnt. So it is made up of neurons. That is a special neural cell or nerve cell. It is called neuron, responsible for control and coordination of the body. Brain produces all the neurons, then brain controls all the body parts. Then they carry impulses. Impulses means message. Like messages are transferred from one neuron to other neuron. Already you have learnt action potential, resting potential. Neurons are protected and supported by special cells. Neurons are protected and supported by special cell called neuroglial cells. Neuroglia is a outer cover of neuron which protects it. Then you know the structure very well, that these are dendrites, the branches there, and this is a cyton or cell body. This is nucleus. Then Nissel's granules are there. Then this is axon, which is long tube. Then they are sometimes covered by myelin sheath, and the gap between that is a node of Ranvier, and here there will be nerve ending. You know it very well. Then we have to discuss organ and organ system. You know it very well. Organ and organ system. Like cells, group of cells form a tissue. Then many tissues together form an organ. Then organ forms many organs from organ system. Now organ system forms an organism. You know this very well. Even in the plants also. Group of cells with similar structure and function we call tissue. Many tissues form one organ. Many organs form one organ system. Then organ system forms one organism. Like in our body, in human body also, cells which are similar in structure and function form a tissue. For example, you take kidney. Okay, so cells of kidney, they have same function, that is filtration of blood. So they form a tissue. Then tissues form one organ, that is kidney. Like that, many organs will be there in our body, like kidney, liver, heart. Many organs are there. So liver is a gland. Many organs are there. So many organs together, it forms one body. Okay. So that is a organization in human body. That is called organ and organ system. So in today's class we have learned this much. In next class we have to learn morphology and anatomy of earthworm. For that PPT I will not use. Okay, I will use the board only. I will draw. Morphology of earthworm and anatomy of earthworm we have to learn. Cockroach part is deleted. Frog is there. Frog morphology and anatomy we will discuss. Then I will finish this retaining portion. In first year PUC's retaining portion given by PU board I will finish. Then cockroach also I have to teach next. That will be taught under deleted portion. Because you have to learn all 22 chapters, I have to teach deleted chapter also. So deleted chapter also we will learn. But next class we are going to learn morphology and anatomy of earthworm. Then morphology and anatomy of frog. Then first year PUC retained portion finishes. Then only deleted portion I will start slowly. Okay. So keep watching my classes. Thank you.